Every barber I've met to date has always been told the same thing. Get good, get busy, fill your columns, and when your column's full, congratulations, you've made it in life. So today I'm gonna introduce you to Tom Darlin. Tom Darlin's had an amazing journey today, ups and downs, and we're gonna completely talk about this. But in the last few months, he's gone from a busy shop owner with multiple branches to collaborations with Sergio Tacchini, his first international show, and growing even further. So without further ado, Tom, pleasure as always.
Pleasure as always. Pleasure as always.
Talk to me before we get started. Who are you? What do you do? And a little bit about your journey, bro.
So obviously Tom Darlin from Darlin's Barbers. Started cutting hair 9-10 years ago now. Started in hairdressing.
So how old were you when you first picked up scissors or clippers or?
I was actually in year 9. I used to work on a Saturday in a small salon just down the road from here.
Okay.
And then they offered me the chance to start, and I thought, you know what, why not? Back then it was a bit different. It wasn't really the cool thing to do. It wasn't really a trend.
So what made you go into it? Did you fall into it by chance, or is it something you always wanted to do?
I fell into it by chance, but by working, by being in the industry, and thought, you know what, this looks like good crack.
So what was it you wanted to do when you was growing up?
Wow, wanting to do, you know, I think it was always music or be on stage. So this to me is almost like doing that, but with a different passion. So it's like putting on a show, but in a different way.
And how old are you now?
I am 26, just turned.
Okay, so talking DB Barbers, put that aside for now.
Yeah.
We both worked for the same brand before. You were in the Northampton branch, I was in the Welly branch.
Top brand as well.
Yeah, of course. And I think it helped polish us to where we were.
100%.
To where we got to. At your peak, what age were you when you peaked at Born Urban Project U? About 24, 22, 24?
No, 20.
20.
20.
What was it like being at 20? Fully booked column, busiest barber in Northampton?
Maybe 2021. It was a thrill and it felt good, but a lot of ego came with that. I had a massive ego back then. I thought.
Be open and honest with it, because a lot of people are.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I remember there was times that I'd go down to the Indian restaurant around the corner with family, and I'd go past at like 11, 12 at night, and you were still trimming, right?
I was, yes, yeah. I mean, you know, even Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, I'd be there seeing the people. I'd be cutting that late that I'd see people walk past and they'd be done with their night out and I'd still be going. So yeah, different level of hunger that took me to get to that. You know, it doesn't just come, but yeah,
I think stopping you there, nothing about how you started was special.
No,
not just like everyone else, but it's what you said there. It's the hunger.
Yes, yeah.
That gave
I
you
was the worst when I joined that shop by a mile, by a mile. But that gives you the hunger to then, you know, push on and be the best. So.
I think that's one of the reasons we're talking today. It gets to a point where you're fully booked columns, but that's all it's ever going to take you to. So about 2021, when you got to that point of being a fully booked barber, working with one of the leading brands in the UK, if not definitely in Northamptonshire,
Definitely.
right?
In the Midlands, 100%.
In the Midlands, definitely. Yeah. When was there a point when you realised, or was there a point you realised, you know what, I'm meant for more than just a fully booked column?
I think COVID, it gave me the chance to see what I was bringing in, but also actually seeing what spin I put on it. Because when you're on your own, and you're in your own room, no one's there putting pressure on you. No one's there putting their ideology on you. It's your own thing. And I created something very different on my own. And I thought, for 10% of the price, why not move on and do my own thing? And rent a chair somewhere else.
So you started renting a chair somewhere else?
Yep. Another great shop.
How was that transition though, from leaving where you were to renting a chair? Was there, because a lot of barbers out there or stylists want to make that jump.
Yeah.
They don't want to jump straight into their own shop. They want to be self-employed, work their own business.
Yeah.
Was there a loss in clients? Like, was it a bit quiet start?
Do you know what? It was the first time that actually what I realized, if you take a jump, you will have not the same support, you will have a different support group supporting you because it's different. I think that
Where did that come from? Was that new clients? Was it family, friends? Like,
no, it is strangers, people from that shop that have seen your work and think, wow, this is great. I'm going to see my barbers around him. Or, you know, it's a new vibe in that shop. I actually think that each shop has their own community and that community then end up supporting you. And I found that really interesting. But that sort of principle goes for the same as any risk you take. You might not get your family supporting you. You might not get your best mate supporting you. You will get strangers. You have to have strangers supporting you.
Amazing. So how long did you rent a chair for?
Gosh, I was probably there about 6 to 8 months. And then I just thought, I've got to do my own thing.
So you hit a ceiling. What was that ceiling? So, you know, there's gonna be people that do that for a year, 6 months, 3 months, and they decide, you know, want to open up our own shop. What was the ceiling? Was it being fully booked? Was it the demand? Was it a certain figure?
It was
you
the,
placed?
yeah, I would say, what you're earning is great. I mean, it depends what you do with it, but what you're earning is great, but there is only so many hours in a day. And being behind the chair all day, every day, posting behind the chair, it's great for gaining and retaining clients, but I wanted more than that. Positioning and stuff like that, you're only attracting, your new clients, which is great if you want to do that. But I wanted to build something bigger and conquer something.
I think that's the part a lot of the industry doesn't tell you. As stylists, we're creatives, right?
Yeah.
The end goal for a creative, whether they want to admit it or not, is not to work for someone else.
Yeah.
We use that to build our skills, build our name, build our brand. I don't know anyone today that's got into a creative industry and said, my end goal is to be a fully booked stylist. And that's it.
I think it's a
built bigger.
short-term goal.
Short term, of course.
I think it's a middle goal. I think you have to start and get good. And then once you are at that level or even higher, the clients will come. Like I think it's one of them subconscious goals where if you get good enough, chase being the best and the clients will come. If you chase clients, if you start anything, if you're trying to attract something and you're chasing it, it's not going to come.
So, talk to me about after those few months, you went and opened up your first store.
Yes.
In Northampton Town Centre?
Yeah, so after I was my first time renting a chair, I worked at home again, which was great. Sort of found my identity, really cracked on with what brand I wanted to create for myself. And then I went back to, the first place that sort of really grew me, because they were on the same system. So that was that. And then that led us to now.
So was this the store in the town centre? Was that the first one you saw? Did you see somewhere else before?
I actually, I signed the heads of terms on a shop in 2021, along just a street there called on Giles Street.
What happened with that?
Yeah, we was very inexperienced.
So I remember you started a campaign by putting stickers up or something around the town centre.
We done it everywhere.
You did it everywhere,
and we done
right?
it for this shop as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it went all quiet. Like we're talking openly now. And then I noticed you weren't there. You're at this shop.
Yeah.
How did it feel? Because obviously, look, business deals fall through.
Yeah, it did. It massively fell through. I mean, our bargaining was shocking at the time.
So what do you think? You overpaid for that?
No, we were too kind. We went in there saying, this is great. Oh my God, because it's a lovely experience. But actually, the business world doesn't work like that. You can't be nice like that. And we found out the hard way. They were just taking things away from us each week, and seeing what, because we were so up for taking it. It was like, they just literally were pulling back on stuff. And we were like, hang on, we're not getting a very good deal now. So pulled out.
How did it feel losing that first shop and then settling on this one? Obviously, we know this one's profitable and this one's amazing. But at the time, like when you get your eyes on something, I look at it as, I got my eyes on a car, I'm bidding on the car, I've gone and dropped the deposit, but then last minute I find out there's something wrong with the car, I can't buy it. Although it's for the better, at that time, for me personally, it's like, I really wanted that.
Yes, I think it's in the moment, it's like anything. Once you lose something, it's like, oh my God. Actually, if at the time I was doing quite a lot of work, holistically and on myself and stuff like that. And I sort of understood the fact of, right, it's not meant to be, something big has come in and oh my, something bigger has came. So
for somebody going out there to sign their first ever lease, what advice would you give them based on what you learned with,
pick what is wrong with the building before you tell them what is right with it. Pick it apart and say, this needs doing, and really get the best deal out of it. But if you're getting a franchise, you don't have to worry about that because we'll be with you every step of the way. So,
we'll go on to that in a bit.
Yeah.
We'll go into that, So
subtle marketing.
You've opened up this first shop.
Yeah.
Booming. Across 3 floors, absolutely booming. What did you think at the time having your own shop would fix for you?
Wow. I think at the time it was a everyone knew I was going to get a shop. It was always going to happen. Then there was thoughts about me, maybe not wanting one. It just put all that to bed when it was like everything aligned. It was the right deal, and then we were like, right, time is now. And it just gave me that, because I was thinking about quitting. I was thinking about stopping cutting hair. You know, I was reaching ceilings, no more ceilings to climb. Whereas actually, what that was is my brain saying, "Is limiting that." So actually, it just made so much sense, and it just gave me that like drive again. And it was like, I've got the business plan already, years in the making. Just put it into action, and it was like, yeah.
So you had the good business plans ready and everything.
Yeah.
Now, you created that whilst being a barber or an employee with those dreams.
Yes.
What changed for you from thinking of how a business should run as an employee or barber to actually now becoming a business owner? What did you realize? How much more like responsibilities were there? Because a lot of people think, sure, getting a shop's easy. Yeah. Just because you're running your own column and shop, your own chair, do you know what? That's easy. I'm going to sign a lease. I'll do this. When that realization hits you as a business owner, the ball changes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
What extra things came with that?
Everything. The whole thing changes. It's your baby. It's not anyone else's. They're not going to treat it the same. You've just got to be strict. And I'll be honest, you know, all the times I've been nagged at, I get it now. I get it. You know, changing the bin, doing all the, you know, mundane jobs that you don't want to do. I get that now. And I think I used to think, oh, what's he doing? What's he moaning at? What, we're doing all right here. Like, you know, no, them little 1%, they all add up. And it's a completely different ball game. Every job is yours. You know, marketing, the cleaning, the doing all the accounts and doing all the admin. Everything is your job. And start taking on 5 jobs in one.
So you've had this store for how long now?
I have been open since November 29th.
29th. This one, but in a
2024.
2024, but in a short space of time, you then opened up the foundry.
Yes, that was in January this year.
So everything was going well. You understood where you were business-wise, where you wanted to be, where you wanted to go further. You had the skills and everything. You just needed a map. So before I got onto this, we knew each other for years, but before I started openly pushing that I'm mentoring new students, where was your head at? What was it you wanted to achieve that made you reach out to me?
Do you know what?
Because you're a successful business owner, bro.
Yeah, I was looking, I'm very, very hard on myself and I self-review all the time. So I was looking at my stuff and I was just thinking, this isn't enough. Like, it's just not enough. And to some people, it might be, wow, he's doing a lot. But to me, it wasn't enough. Even the style of videos, the style of who I'm trying to target, and it just wasn't enough. And I reached out and said, look, I didn't even know you were doing the course at the time.
Nah.
I just said, JJ, I need to get in these rooms. I will even pay you. And you were like, brilliant. I've got a course for you. And I was like, wicked, I didn't even know this. And then when you said about it, I was like, let's go. Like,
because I think that's the difference. A lot of stylists, well, they should, if they're not already, educate themselves every year and reskill themselves. Cutting courses, this, that, and the other.
100%.
I think they get to a point in time where, especially as a business owner, you've got to realise, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with technical cutting courses, this and the other. I always still go on until date. But there has to be a course out there which actually helps you scale to a bigger level, you know? So we started, I think, first week of Feb, right?
Yeah.
You set the record for me in like the 4 years of mentoring. And it's unheard of in the industry till date. Your first brand partnership in 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
With a brand.
Yeah, off my
you've
first
always
shoot.
following.
Yeah, it's not follow. It's
you always had
support.
passion for that brand.
It's like, it'd be like how you support a football club. That's how I feel about that. So that's how strongly it is for me. Yeah.
How were you feeling at the time when I told you, look, this is the process we're going to do. You're going to have to do this. It could pay off. There's obviously going to be some doubts in your head, right? What were those doubts? Talk to me about it.
I think you open the door, but I have to walk through it.
Of course.
And I knew what I was capable of. I know what my creative ideas are, but they're not just ideas. So, you know, I think that's self-confidence, a bit of delusion maybe mixed in. I was as confident as, you know, I didn't think Sergio were going to get in touch, but I knew someone was. You know, even a couple of local shops got in touch, and you know that was sort of what I was expecting. Now something bigger obviously came, and that was like
and that was in
dream come true.
That was what, within 3-4 days of having it finished images, right? I don't even know,
Yeah.
they weren't even edited.
No, they weren't edited.
They weren't
They were
even edited.
unedited, and they hadn't even seen. There was about 190 picture collection, and I sent them about eight of the best, and they were so happy. They got in touch with me. They liked it. They followed me, and I thought, okay, cool. That's really cool. I was happy with that. And then I went on my messages, and it said, we would really like to be collabed in this, and we would like to work with you in the future. I was like,
That's it. So we took that meeting
Boom. Yeah.
straight away.
yeah,
They gave you a drop
yeah.
for the new collection.
Yeah, show me the lookbooks, like
lookbooks.
going through all the sort of all their things that you
Pre-release.
wouldn't get in a shot, pre-release, all like CAD CAM drawings of all the clothes. It was wicked, you know.
And it's a brand you're wearing today.
Brand away today.
That's a brand you're wearing today. So then
Yeah.
from there,
You won't see me not in that.
No, you won't.
No.
Rarely. So what actually swayed your decision or made you commit? Because look, I talk to a lot of students that sit there, they have a sales call me,
Yeah.
and I know realistically within 20 minutes of talking to somebody if they're going to commit or not.
Yes. Yeah.
What made you want to commit?
To you.
Yeah.
I think the proof's in the pudding. I think if you're buying something, you have to see the guy doing very well
Yeah.
in that field before you enter it. Be like you buying a content scheme. If someone's done massive amounts of content and getting views and yielding all this traction and leads, then why not? But yourself, you've traveled the world, you've cut some huge names, especially cricketers, which I'm very jealous of.
I don't even follow cricket.
Exactly. So,
I'm calling you, asking you, who is this person?
yes, exactly. And I think you've just, you know, I think me and you, where we were coming from, we probably were a little bit underdogs.
Yeah, we were.
To now, that is also something that I was like drawn to because it was relatable.
Yeah.
And that is also any product that you're gonna buy, it's got to be relatable.
What did you have to give up to say yes? Because it was an investment. We won't talk about how much, but you obviously had to give something up. I'm not saying you couldn't afford it, but cash flow wise, as a business, it was a big sum. What did you have to give up at the time? Was there something you were looking at buying or investing in? Because I want people to know the sacrifice. you know?
There was. It was either that or going solely on the foundry spot. So we had a private investor. So
Okay.
I was going to do that on my own. So I actually put aside half of the amount going into that and half of what comes back to fund your program. Yeah.
So what habits have you picked up, not just working with me, but with the skills I've learned and implementing it yourself
Yeah.
over the last 3 months that you now implement it or even teach your staff? Because I've been seeing lately you've been posting a lot of stuff online
Yes.
about a lot of content plans and stuff, right?
Yeah. So we've got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4.
Talk to me about them.
Phase 1 is a content strategy. I've done the audits already, just going through their Instagram, making it look stronger, hitting that sort of larger market. Phase 2 is targeting brands, who they want to target. Phase 3 is targeting sort of people that they want to do, footballers, things like that. They're all very interested in that. And then phase 4, is building their personal brand, which is very important. Now, they're all in order, but I think personal brand links up to all of those. So I'm just teaching them a little bit of what I've done. I'm giving them the option for what we've done, but they can pick which parts they want to do. So some of them might not want to do the stage work, some of them might not want to do fashion week, some of them might not want to do the brand work, but they've got the option to. And that opens more doors because I can't be the only one smashing that side of it. I want my lads to as well, and having the freedom as well. So if I'm trying to brand not behind the chair all the time and gaining, that clientele and that be the only route, I've got to give them that route as well.
Totally. So following that, I want you to remember back to when you got your first call for your first international show. Pro Beauty India, MainStage Delhi. Where were you when you found out about that opportunity?
I was in hospital.
Okay.
I was in
Are we
hospital.
okay to talk about this?
Yep. So yeah, ask me again, yeah.
How did it feel with all that going on and getting that news? Was it as happy as what you felt, or was it kind of dismissed? Because I want to know the real. People want to know the real.
It was a proud moment. I don't think it matters where you are in the world. And I'd done all I could to get up to health to be at the show. But unfortunately, it just didn't align and couldn't make it.
Who was the first person you told when you got that opportunity?
My dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad. I mean, I hadn't seen it online.
Because you sacrificed a lot, because you gave up your run for that, because you're an avid runner. Do you remember?
Yes.
You had a marathon.
It was a marathon, yes. So, but to be fair, I wasn't. Yeah, there was no way if I couldn't do that, I couldn't do the run anyway.
Yeah.
But
So you sacrificed.
it was still sacrifice. But I think, yeah, I told my dad, and it was a wow moment. And I think there was a few questions about why the India market and stuff like that.
What was your view on that? What made
No,
you?
even I asked that question at the start. We've got a plan, and that's where we're going. And you know, I actually really like that side of it. So, yeah, it's a proud moment.
So then you didn't go.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was gutting.
You didn't go.
Yeah.
What were you going through personally during that time for people that? Because look, that's a big question which is on everyone's mind. There's a big question people are asking for last 2 months. Where's Tom been?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Talk to us. What was going on?
A lot of people do ask that. So yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, physically and obviously mentally as well. So I had to take a break. It wasn't a choice. It was I had to. You know.
What do you think was the hardest part of that? A fact which hit you, which you couldn't really tell anybody, if you don't mind me asking. What was the hardest thing for you during that time?
Not being in charge of the shop, not being at the wheel, like the decisions being made were out of my control, like not performing on the show, not looking after the shop, not directing the lads, not really looking after them. And even prior to that, it was like that anyway. I was battling inside. It's like an internal war that no one really knew about.
But I didn't know. Like you
Yeah.
ghosted on me for a
Yeah.
month. I
Yeah.
then found out about
Yeah.
a month later from a message from somebody else. What did you think I was going to say to you when you came back? Do you think I was going to cut you off or? Yeah,
I was quite confident that our relationship was stronger than that, but there was always there's spaces. You've got a limited amount of spaces, and as we know, you have to earn that space. It's a privilege, not a right.
No.
So I was confident also the work that I'd done prior to that, I put a lot into it. But yeah, there was always a worry. I lost a lot of people, whether that's everyday clients or big names, But I believe what's coming next is going to be bigger. So.
Of course, and that's one thing I say to a lot of people. Like, if you're going through stuff in life, we all do. I'm not the sort of person to cut somebody off. I'll chase you up once, twice. Once I find out what's going on in the scene, I left you to it. There was still a few contracts and stuff going on in the background, but I was managing that on your behalf, trying to smooth things out so that when you come back, I knew you were going to come back and come back stronger. So I had to manage that my way, So what we've built so far to date has set up levels for you in the industry. You've now come back stronger than ever.
Done a lot of work. Whilst I haven't been able to do the physical work, it's, a lot of the systems.
Your first physical on the job was the Fairmont. You did. You led a team of barbers at the Fairmont in Windsor for one of the most affluent families in Dubai, the apparel group. Talk to us, how was that?
That was a special day. 3 days, in fact. But yeah, that was special. The scene of it, the level of clients, and also the service. I haven't done a hot towel shave for about 9 years. But I'm actually implementing that in the shop again. So yeah, it was a learning day for me, and I'm very strong on that. You can't learn too much. So that was great for me to do, and on to many more. Yeah, hopefully.
So that was your first step back, and we've renewed, and we're moving on something different. We're still targeting the shows.
Yep.
Like you've got your big show coming up.
Yep.
Headline in Mumbai.
Yes.
On the 30th and 31st of August, or it's the 31st of August, the 1st of September.
Yeah.
I'm no good with dates. And then we're working on something else you've been posting recently.
Yes, we are.
Talk to us about it. What's going on with DV now?
Well, so we're transitioning. A lot of online work, a lot of modules, a lot of coaching, training, but mainly the franchise model, which is going to be rolled out in about 2 to 3 weeks, which is very exciting. Very exciting. Attractive offer for businessmen who know business, who like their profits, and also young lads who want to get their own shop.
So let's talk about it. You had a shameless marketing post input earlier on when we started this. Franchising.
Yeah.
Are we okay to talk about that?
Of course we are. Yeah.
Talk to us.
So,
What's your offer to the market?
offer to the market.
Yes.
So, basically, we lead you, and it's the easiest way to step into the industry. Now, the industry is booming, as we know, and it's only growing. It's at 1.4 billion in the UK right now, and it's going to go to 2.1 by 2030. Now, the self-employment status is the most interesting bit about this. So, at the moment, it's 63%, and it is about to move to 90% in 2030. And that is how our models run. So the time is now to step in and work with a very strong brand who's established, different, and offers you security. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through from the first phone call with us to signing the lease to us project managing to build your shop with your budget. And we work with you on that. And then we roll it out and help you gain staff and retain them as well, whilst building all the systems that create income for the staff to keep them happy. Now, it's completely exciting. Like, I can see this genuinely being as big as McDonald's. I can see a Darlin's being in every single town, not in the UK, not in Europe, but the whole world. I genuinely believe that.
And I think a lot of people need to realise you not come back the same. You come back stronger than ever, harder than ever to knock down.
100%.
You know?
100%.
A lot of people get knocked down, but it's
Cool.
how much you get back up.
I've been
right?
down, more times I've been up. So,
but with that comes the experience.
Yeah.
You're not doing this because it's not successful. You're doing this because it works.
100%. 100%.
So somebody doesn't have to face the same mistakes you made, which you openly said, whether it's leases, staffing issues, training, knowing where to spend, how to do things up.
Simplifying.
You're allowing them to fast track it.
Yeah, and they're going to have a manual, a DB manual that walks them through week by week for the first 2 years of that franchise. And by then, you should know what you're doing. And you've got 24/7 access to me to help you along. I mean, I can come and visit, come and train the lads, come and teach, come and do seminars. I'm going to be hands-on. I'm just so excited for this next. It's like a campaign. This is my campaign to take over. And I think the thing is there's some healthy profits for the owner, but it's also being a part of a journey, being part of a massive journey.
It's a whole community. Like
Yeah,
all the lads,
it is. Yeah.
It's one of those things. So for somebody that's watching this right now, fully booked column, quite a few years in the industry, they've got that feeling of, is this all I'm ever meant to be? What advice would you give them?
Well, I would say completely tell yourself that is nonsense. And open your mind, get in touch with one of us.
Yeah.
And we can show you some different doors, some different routes, and spice it up a bit. Really do something different and be yourself. And you will find people that will come to you. But I'm not talking about, your everyday client. I'm talking about big people that have influence on the world.
Well, actually, going back to that, you had a famous DJ hit you up.
Yes, yeah.
We didn't reach out to him.
No, yeah. So
we didn't reach out to him, and he hit you up.
And it's a privilege. And that is a privilege. And what a nice guy he is. I made some content with him. I really spoke to him. I had some good times up in Manchester with him. And it was great. It was great to meet someone on that side of it who's, traveling the world, doing the same as me, but in a different way. Now,
a lot of transferable skills, networking, all that, right?
And if you hang around with 6 successful people, you're going to be the 7th. And to attract them people to you, you've just got to market yourself in a different way. You've got to position yourself in a different way. Like I say, you've got to take that leap. And if you're willing to do the work, because it's not given to you, it's not, no matter what route you take, but especially in this one, it's only guidance. But yeah.
If you had to restart this whole journey again at 21, what would you do differently?
Nothing. No. I've learned so much. I've learned more when I'm not winning, to be honest. I've learned more from failing. I think
that is an important thing.
Yeah.
I speak to a lot of stylists or people in any industry, and they will literally want to be surrounding themselves where they're the most successful. One thing you just said stuck out to me. Surround yourself with 6 millionaires, you will be the 7th.
100%.
I always make sure I'm the smallest fish in that room.
100%.
It's the only way you're going to develop.
100%.
Otherwise, who are you competing against?
Yeah.
Who are you looking up to?
Yeah. Don't be the best in your shop either.
No.
That's one thing. Yeah.
Before we wrap up, final bit of advice or anything you want to tell the industry or anybody that's watching this. Could be to do with anything, mate. The final line from Tom Darlin.
I would say just keep an eye out for Darlins. It's going to be coming to a town near you very, very soon. We'll see you there.
It's a wrap. Done.
Lovely.